John 8:37 says, I know that ye are Abraham's seed, but ye seek to kill me because my word have no place in you. All praises be to the Most High. My videos are designed to share some biblical insight regarding my spiritual beliefs. I happen to be a Hebrew Israelite from the seed of Abraham, from the tribe of Judah, and my videos are designed to enlighten you through the scriptures. You need to know who Christ was talking to. You need to know who he was sent for. And if you have a Bible, you can follow me. Go to Matthew 15 and verse 24, and I'm going to be reading from the King James Bible. See? But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. See? Right there, Matthew 15 and verse 24. Now go back to John 8 and verse 37. I know that ye are Abraham's seed, but ye seek to kill me because my word have no place in you. Now I just read from the King James Version. Who was Christ speaking to? He was speaking to the Pharisees. He was speaking to the scribes, Sadducees. Those were the religious leaders in Christ's day. They were like the elders over the house of Judah, because those were the people that Christ was sent for. The lost sheep represents the nation of Judah. And Christ said that his lineage can be traced back to the tribe of Judah. So it only makes sense that he will come out and talk to his people. Now, it's very important that you understand whether it's a Pharisee, whether it's a scribe, whether it's a Sadducee, those were still his people. Christ didn't like the Pharisees. You know what he called them? He called them hypocrites because they didn't practice what they preach. And they gave him a hard time when he encountered sinners, because that's what he came for. Sinners, they're not known like, they were not acknowledged like we are today. I mean, you got to remember, we're in a different time. When Christ referred to his people as sinners, he was only talking about Abraham's people. He wasn't talking about the world as in sinners, like the local churches continue to mislead and teach their congregations out of manipulation, because that's all it is. It's not truth. Because if it was truth, they would teach about lineage, which is very important, because Christ said, I am the root, the offspring of David, the bright and morning star. Now, I'm not going to say that every church is teaching out of manipulation, false manipulation, because that's one of the signs that Christ said that's would occur in the last days. There would be a lot of false manipulation coming out of this religious system. He made it clear to his disciples. He did not talk or share the mysteries to his people, only to a few men, which happened to be the apostles. Those were the men who interact with Christ. They traveled with him through the regions of Galilee and Jerusalem. They was right there when his own people shouted, crucify him. The ones that he came to save, yes. They said, crucify him. So it was the Pharisees that gave Christ a hard time, and he didn't humble himself to them. He argued right back with them. That showed you how radical he was. Although he came humble, meek to his people, it was the Pharisees that he argued with a lot, because they were hypocrites. He knew their thoughts, and he knew that they were of their father, the devil. But he did not discourage his disciples to shun them. He said, beware of them. But he said, listen to them, because they're still under Moses' teachings. In other words, they were still under the Old Testament law and covenant. And he didn't discourage his disciples to shun them when they encountered them, because they was always around. They was always around Christ. When you read all the apostles' writings, you're going to pretty much read the same thing. It's just that there's just a different man writing it. You hear me? And like I said, they pretty much wrote the same thing, because those were the men that Christ chose to help him with his ministry. But it was the Pharisees that he always had a problem with. He said, beware the Pharisees, listen to them because they're still under the law of Moses. Do everything they tell you because they're still under the law of Moses. But he said, don't do what they do because they don't practice what they preach. Okay? So Matthew 8:37 once again says, I know that ye are Abraham's seed, but ye seek to kill me because my word have no place in you. Now that's what their agenda was. They was there to take Christ out. They didn't want a new leader leading the lost sheep of Israel because they were the leaders during that time. And they knew that a Messiah was going to come and save them, but when Christ came humble, they rejected him. He wasn't received well at all. If you go back and read the stories of Christ, he was not received by his people because he chose to come humble. He wasn't like the other prophets, the other kings that came exalted to the nation of Israel. When Christ came on the scene, he chose to come meek and abased to his people. Okay? Jump back over to Matthew 15 and verse 24. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Very important that you understand this. Shalom.